Right here on WRDW for Warren, A Way of Life, every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Connect with us for a time of worship, prayer, and Bible study with Pastor David McKinley.
Now at Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
The Black Friday sales event all month long.
15% off MSRP on new Rams, Renegades, and Grand Cherokees.
Get immediate credit approval.
Good to go Waynesboro.com.
Yeah, it's real.
Get spotted with an SRP Spotted sticker and get $100. That's right, it's that easy. Get your SRP Spotted sticker or magnet from any SRP location and you could be spotted and win $100. Follow us on Facebook for even more chances to win with Spot Me SRP. Good things are happening at SRP.
My dry eye.
Sponsored by Hobbytown Augusta.
Urgent notice from Waynesboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
2.9% financing for 72 months during the Black Friday sales event.
Massive markdowns like never before.
Good to go Waynesboro.com. Your safety comes first with the First Alert Radar Network. First just got faster.
All right, thanks, Mikhail. Live at 5, behind us is an active map of all flights in the U.S., courtesy of FlightAware. Take a look at this. Atlanta down here, extremely busy, and right there in that line of showers, too. Aboard nearly every flight, of course, travelers on their way to visit friends and family for the very busy Thanksgiving holiday.
AAA predicts more than 55 million Americans are traveling 50 miles or further over the next few days. Today and tomorrow are projected to be the busiest days for travel.
Our Hallie Turner is live along I-20 over by the Riverwatch exit. And Hallie, with this huge influx of travelers, that means authorities are on standby and high alert.
They are, as you can see behind me, the amount of cars are continuing to kind of pile up. Now, right now, we've had some green lights, so they are flowing, but we have seen a ton of red lights. But, you know, the busiest time of travel here in Georgia is going to be around 12 p.m. And for those in South Carolina, it's already started. Now, according to AAA, people are expected to be on the roads in both South Carolina. More people are supposed to be on the roads in South Carolina and in Georgia than last year. Last year, troopers investigated more than 700 crashes in Georgia with 401 injuries and 18 fatalities. In South Carolina, there were more than 1,000 crashes and 11 deaths last Thanksgiving holiday period. GDOT says they're suspending lane closures on Georgia interstates, major state routes, roads near malls, and more, starting at 5 a.m. and going until Wednesday at 10 p.m. 5 a.m. Wednesday until 10 p.m. Sunday to help with traffic flow. For South Carolina, they're adding more eyes in the skies this year with choppers clocking speeders.
It's used on the interstates, and of course, you know, they can track speed just as if, you know, you're in a car. And also they have a radar. We'll have a number of troopers. So, of course, you know, we'll be looking for the speeders, the people who are driving impaired, the people who are not wearing their seatbelts, and the people who are driving distracted.
Coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're telling you the best of the times to head out of town as you prepare that Thanksgiving travel.
We know a lot of people are going to be on the road. It's better to show up alive rather than, you know, not making it there at all. That's what we hear from law enforcement every single year. So take your time on the roads. It's going to be busy no matter when you leave, really.
Yep, and put the phone down. Don't text and drive. The good news for anybody who needs to gas up, Georgia and South Carolina have some of the cheapest gas right now in the entire country. Georgia's average is $2.81, with both Columbia and Richmond counties clocking in below the state average.
Across the river in South Carolina, the average is slightly higher at $2.93. Aiken County well below that average, but in Allendale County, gas prices are averaging over the $3 mark.
And if you're one of the millions of families planning to drive for the holiday, Georgia DOT wants you to use caution on the roads, especially with the rain that's in our forecast. Across the state, workers have been clearing debris from interstate storm drains to prevent flooding, but back roads, they do not always get the same treatment, meaning they are more likely to flood. With leaves falling more frequently, they are likely to clog and back up those road drains.
You still want to have an eye out when you're traveling for areas of the interstate that can flood due to the amount of leaves and trash and debris that are swept into the system this time of year.
It's that time of year. AAA predicts more than 55 million people will travel more than 50 miles this Thanksgiving holiday.
Tonight, McDuffie County leaders will meet to discuss what's next for the county animal shelter. This comes after more than a year of issues, most recently with the announcement that the newly hired Animal Services Director, Michaela McLean, was placed on administrative leave last week. McLean was arrested on a charge of cruelty to children along with her husband. The two are accused of exposing a 2-year-old to THC. The child had to be hospitalized after ingesting an unknown amount. Right now, the McDuffie County Animal Shelter is open, but not accepting intakes. Adoptions are happening by appointment only. The meeting tonight will happen during executive session, but we'll let you know what happens.
After more than 14 years, North Augusta Public Safety is getting a new commanding officer. Captain Junior Johnson will start his new role as chief in the new year. Today, our Taylor Martin sat down with Chief Johnson on his plans for the future.
In all these years, there's always new things that come about. But the one thing that you must have is your personal integrity through any situation that arises. It's imperative because the public puts a lot of trust in the public safety profession.
You can hear much more from Captain Johnson, soon to be chief, all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Tributes and condolences pouring in from across the globe for Rosalind Carter and the Carter family.
Abby Casoras shares how people are going out of their way to make sure Rosalind's family feels their support.
Thank you for all your excellent service and leadership. May your legacy live on.
Visitors at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library say it's hard to put Rosalind's legacy into words.
The Carters really brought a period of honesty and integrity, continued service, and peace.
People describe her as admirable, remarkable, a powerhouse advocate, and a pioneer. Dottie Kuhn says she inspired her to be a better mother.
My oldest son, was born in 1977, so that made it a great year. Great president, great newborn son. She has left a great legacy, and so has President Carter, and I just hope that they realize that heaven's a great place for both of them one of these days.
This memorial is growing as more people want to lend their support to the Carter family. Messages written in foreign languages from families across the world. Sometimes the message is simple.
This one, I just put rest in peace. I didn't know what to put. Rest in peace, Rosalind Carter.
10-year-old Deshaun Sweet says he hopes this book will act as a hug to former President Carter and his family.
Hopefully, they feel better.
It would take you hours to go through the countless condolences sent to the Carter Center, but here's a few. Michael from Maine says Rosalind Carter will be missed, but not forgotten. Judy from New Mexico writes, she was the right arm of my hero, but a hero in her own right. And Patricia from Wisconsin writes, your work here is done. You've touched so many with your kindness. The Presidential Library is working hard to get this space ready to welcome large crowds next week. On Monday, the Carter family has invited people to pay their respects as Rosalind Carter lies here in repose. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Casoras.
As a mark of respect for Rosalind Carter, President Biden has ordered all flags to fly at half-staff at all public and government buildings through Saturday evening.
Well, usually coroners are not doing the saving, but last week that's exactly what happened when a young pup was spotted in the Augusta Canal, stuck on a pipe and freezing to death. Without a second thought, Richmond County Deputy Coroner Chad Cheek went out of his way to save the dog with just one thought on his mind.
Just to save the dog. Just to save the dog. He was very cold, very, very frightened, and hanging on. And if he'd have let loose, I don't believe he'd have made it trying to swim through the lily pads.
All new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock. We'll have that full story for you and where that pup ended up.
It's a happy one.
It is a happy one.
Love it. Home for the holidays. It's not just people who want a warm and safe place to stay. Just ahead, we'll show you how you can help a furry friend maybe find that home forever. We're talking foster fails, Mikkel.
Yes, we know we love that here. Want all those furry friends to find their forever home. As far as weather, we are tracking rainfall pushing in and also going to have to watch out for some fog tonight and tomorrow morning. We'll talk about the details coming up next.
Time and temp brought to you by
though as we head towards next week, so good news there.
All right, thanks, Mikkel. And Augusta Animal Services is holding a Home for the Holidays promotion. That means that you can take a dog or a cat out of the shelter for a few days to help with overcrowding over the Thanksgiving holiday.
Our Will Volk shows us how it's already making a difference.
The pound isn't as nice as a home. This Thanksgiving, Laura Moore wants to share her home with one of these dogs.
We had seen online that they had a lot, and so we just decided that we were going to come down and see who they had.
Augusta Animal Services doesn't have as many as they did. Look at all these empty cages. About 30 animals have already been fostered as part of their Home for the Holidays program.
So the animals that are here can have double, triple cages so they can run back and forth, get more exercise, and it's less wear and tear as far as the staff having to clean and feed and take care of the animals.
Deputy Director Crystal Escala says they see temporary homes turn into forever homes all the time.
This program has an 80%, over 80% chance of the people falling in love and actually keeping the animals. Even those who don't necessarily plan to keep them will fall in love and not want to bring them back.
Moore didn't even get out the door before falling in love.
And we met her, and then we decided to keep it.
Her dog Percy's gonna have a new friend. Sunshine's leaving the shelter, and it's not just for Thanksgiving.
She's sweet, so I think it's gonna be good.
In Augusta, Will Volk, on your side.
Oh, that makes me so happy. You can still take home an animal for the holiday tomorrow from 10 until 2 o'clock. At last check, there's still about 20 or so. The shelter will provide everything you need for free, and hopefully it's a fail. That's the hope.
Do you not want to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on high-tech gadgets? I'm Jamie Tucker, coming up with some holiday gift ideas, low-tech, for under 20 bucks.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Electronics, they will be some of the most popular holiday gift items this year, but not everybody wants high-tech, expensive gadgets.
Our consumer tech reporter, JB Tucker, shows us some budget gadgets that are all under $20.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
And not only are these inexpensive, but they're very helpful, useful, and I can guarantee someone on your list doesn't have them. And even though they require no batteries or power, I think we can still call them gadgets. Forget Post-it notes. If you need to jot down a quick note or reminder, these desktop whiteboards are a great solution for keeping your workspace uncluttered. These dry erase boards are about the size of a keyboard, so they fit nicely in front of the computer monitor. You can take a quick note, phone number, name, and when you no longer need it, just wipe it away. An added bonus are these drawers to keep flash drives, SD cards, or other small items always in the way on your desktop. Erasable Notes cuts down on clutter and litter. The Rocketbook uses erasable pens you can simply wipe away off of real paper. But it goes a step beyond. The smartphone app allows you to scan your notes and save them in a cloud storage that you use. There are Rocketbook notebooks, notepads, and planners. And remember mouse pads? They lost favor when rollerball mouses went extinct. People are now in love with these leather desktop mats. They dress up the desk, make it easier for the mouse to move across the desktop screen flawlessly. See the difference? The mouse on a standard desktop and a mouse using a desktop pad. And it protects your desk from scratches and marks. All of these gifts are right around $20 or less. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
And a link to all of these low-tech gadgets will be on our website, wrdw.com. I think we both agreed that these would be great for everyone in our news department as well.
Yeah, so Will's already making his Christmas list.
Yep, there we go.
I'm taking notes, all right. Well, many of your local football teams did not get the results they were looking for on Friday night. Their games certainly kept us on the edge of our seats.
News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth joins us live now in the studio to shine a light on some of the dramatic and exciting moments from Week 14.
With high school football season winding down, we already have one state champion, and a handful of our local teams are still competing to win one of their own. It's time for the Under the Lights Top 5 Plays of the Week. Coming in at number 5 in the GIAA, Briarwood was hosting Brentwood. Charlie Mosley hurdles a tackle and then stiff arms a kid out of bounds like Derrick Henry. Briarwood went on to win 21-6, advancing to their state semifinals. Number 4, Thompson and Toombs County at the Brickyard. Ja'Kias Jones throws a dime to Ty Jones, who makes the catch and gets his feet in there for the touchdown. But despite a second half surge, Thompson fails to defend their crown, so their chances of going back-to-back are over. Number 3, Westminster and Windsor Academy. Levi Murphy is going to throw a missile to Raider Ketterman, who reels it in for the touchdown. The Westminster Wildcats won the GIAA 8-man state championship for the second time in the last 5 years. Coming in at number 2, Aquinas quarterback Jim Franklin decides to play a little backyard football with his man Buddy Rogar, who beats his defender deep downfield and catches this ball for a touchdown. Aquinas did suffer a heartbreaking loss in overtime in this game, 38-35. Our Under the Lights play of the week comes to us from Midland Valley running back Trayvon Dunbar. Even though the Mustangs' perfect season came to an end on Friday night, Dunbar had a historic performance, rushing for over 300 yards and scoring not 1, not 2, not 5, but 8 touchdowns. He also became the second player in the history of South Carolina high school football to run for over 3,000 yards in a single season. That's it for sports. We'll be right back after this quick break.
This month is
YesBaby.com. Click, click. Welcome back to Live at 5. We are still tracking this line of showers and storms, now pushing closer towards the CSRA, so approaching Lake Oconee down that I-20 corridor. We'll keep a close eye on this to see how well it'll hold together as it does continue towards our part of the region. But talking about winds, haven't really mentioned that too much for tomorrow, really. As we get into tomorrow, we are going to see our sustained winds begin to pick up in between about 10 to 20 miles per hour throughout the entirety of your Wednesday. So starting late Wednesday morning throughout the rest of the afternoon, we are expecting some very breezy conditions to develop behind this front. We could see wind gusts close to 30 miles per hour at times, and these winds don't really calm down until we get back into Thanksgiving. So it'll be a pretty breezy day for tomorrow. Be sure to secure any loose items on your patios or in your front yards and backyards before tomorrow does arrive. As far as the forecast looking ahead towards tomorrow morning, we are going to have to watch out for some early morning shower activity, so definitely could be a wet start for a lot of us. As we continue closer towards midday, though, rainfall chances become more isolated, and we could even see the return of a few peaks of sunshine as well. But the forecast for Thanksgiving is looking pretty good, and we stay mostly dry into next week.
All right, thanks, Miguel. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a very short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.